welcome to Take a Look. The Joker, the most groundbreaking, genre-defying supervillain origin movie ever. 9 Oscar nods, 2 wins, and now Joker, Folie à Deux. Folie à Deux. Folie. Let's just call it what everybody else does. Joker 2! Already with Oscar buzz, and again, brought to you by the same guy who made The Hangover.
What is going on?
More on that later. We'll catch up with Joaquin Phoenix, film critics, and Lady Harley Quinn, Gaga herself, to talk about it. Let's do it now as we take a look.
Take a look. I am so excited. Typically, I would land right about here, and I would say, welcome to Take a Look. It's a show where we talk about things on small screens, medium screens, and big screens. But forget about it. This is a movie you have to see on the biggest screen possible. Let's talk sequels for a moment. Godfather Part 2, amazing. My second favorite sequel, probably The Empire Strikes Back. And now this, Joker 2. You got to see it on the biggest screen possible. I'd be remiss if I didn't bring in my friend, troublemaker, influencer, whatever you're calling yourself these days, Kelly Savannah Deaton. Hi.
And hi, nice to see you.
Yeah.
Mark, you have me all flustered. What's the name of Joker 2? What's the
You heard me
official
blow it
name?
in the open.
What's the official name?
Folie à Deux. And I can't say it with, I
You
just
got
had
a
some
deux.
cheese, and I think I just spit some out on you, so we can't say
I
it
know.
anymore. All right,
Okay.
so I know you love this music. Let's not tap dance around it. No pun. It does dabble into being a musical. How do you feel
Yes.
about that?
I like musicals, but let me tell you something. I'm not a huge fan of musicals, and most people who are fans of musicals don't go into this thinking it is straight line musical, because you will get something about everything. It has drama, it has Lady Gaga.
Yep.
And it's not just a musical. So put it that way. You will enjoy this, and it is entertaining throughout.
Yeah, as dopey as it is, when people start breaking out singing, it makes sense in this. And
Yes.
if people are going to be singing, bring in Lady Gaga, although having someone that trained can cause problems. We talked about that. Look.
We're not alone anymore. That's what we should be talking about.
I want to see the real you.
Nice to see you.
Nice to see you too. Hi.
I'm going to try not to cry.
Oh.
Last time I saw you, the credits hadn't even finished running at the Toronto Film Festival Star, and I think I interviewed you crying through the whole thing. I'll try to contain myself.
Thank you. So sweet.
You've outdone yourself in this.
Thank you.
I read early on, you said one of the biggest hurdles, or at least the biggest focus for you, was going to be to deconstruct the Gaga sound that you've layered on through craft and training through the years to be Gaga. You have to undo all of that to be Lee, because she's an untrained vocalist. However, Lee is amazing. I'd pay to see her at Madison Square Garden.
Thank you. You know, I loved creating this character, and I think she just deserved to have her own voice that was unique to her and special for her. We all communicate differently, and you know, yeah, it was a huge challenge for me, because there's things that come so naturally to me that are so second nature for me that I had to do away with to be her. But you know, there's other times in the movie where her voice becomes fuller, and those were moments when Arthur was dreaming. So, you know, it was kind of actually really freeing, because I got to, you know, approach her and make her whatever I wanted, and try to make her whatever I wanted in whatever way I thought of in the moment.
And Todd says that he bowed towards you every day in Video Village, saying, yes, he loved everything you were bringing to life.
You know, it was great working with Todd. And, you know, he had a really beautiful vision. And this was such a bold way to tell this story. And I just wanted to give him everything that he could possibly need to work with, so that he could tell the story that was in his heart.
And speaking of heart, the heart of it, it's a love story. She loves this guy. And I've heard you say that much like a Manson girl loved Manson. What do you think she sees in him?
You know, I tried to blend my research of Manson girls also with like true love. And I really thought a lot about empathy in compassion. And we argued a lot on set about this. There was a lot of discussion around how she loved Joker. And I always, as, bringing the perspective of a woman, I always was saying, no, she loves Arthur too. And I think her empathy and love for Arthur was real, but I think also her love and obsession with Joker was dangerous because she was willing to provoke Arthur to meet Joker. And, I always thought that was kind of, more dangerous than Lee lighting a match, I thought, was the fact that she was willing to do that.
So true. Thanks for doing this. Thanks for all you do to make the world a better place.
Thank you.
I mean that. She does make the world a better place. She donates so much money to so many different charities. Quite the opposite of her character. I don't think Harley Quinn's donating a lot of money to charities.
Yeah, I don't think so. I think she's just breaking out the Joker. That's all she's good for in this movie.
Yeah, but I think we got it in there. It's a love story, so you got that going on too. All right, coming up next, he is the Academy Award winner for the role in the very first movie, The Joker. Will he take it again? I'm going to go ahead and jump out and say right now, yes, because of his commitment. The commitment,
yes.
A tricky word. One of the nation's leading film critics, Sean Edwards, dabbles with that when he talks to Joaquin Phoenix and us next. Hey, welcome back to Take a Look. Thanks for hanging out. If we're a little bit more giddy than usual, it's because you've joined us for a half hour dedicated to all things Joker 2, or as you say...
Oh, now you made me mess it up.
See, this is why we call it Joker. This is why everybody involved calls it Joker.
There you go. You gotta, when you say it.
Let's see what our guest says about this. I wanted to bring on someone. I love watching the movie next to him because it is epic. He is one of North America's leading film critics. He is on the board of directors of the Critics' Choice Awards. Woo! Ladies and gentlemen, he's also my friend, Sean Edwards. So, Sean Edwards,
welcome, Sean.
What is the working title, the full title, the release title of this film?
Please inform us.
You're not going to trap me with that. It's Joker.
All right, there you go. Joker 2. There you go. All right.
Everybody on the streets calls it Joker. When's the new Joker movie coming out?
There you go. That's what we'll go with.
There we go.
All right, Sean, I'm going to start you off with this question. I loved your interview. And Joaquin Phoenix is known to be kind of difficult. And you kind of sparred with him a little bit, but you handled it well. He does not accept compliments well. So how did that go? And how did that conversation go?
I loved it. I loved every single second because he is not mundane. He is not your average Joe. He keeps you on your toes. Mm-hmm. You know what? Interviewing Joaquin Phoenix is like, going to the fitness center and getting a workout on after you've been sitting around for a few weeks.
I thought you did great. And a good lesson is always to start with a compliment. And I want to throw to it because this is where you say, you committed, which is what we've been saying all along.
Yeah.
Take a look.
I like the commitment.
Thank you.
I love the commitment, but I do want to ask you this, like going in, because I know you made the first one. The first one was great. I mean,
how do you know I commit?
You can see it.
How do you know?
Okay, that's a good question. That's good. That's good. Okay, let me say this. What you do on screen feels like you have given the ultimate commitment. Is that a better way to phrase it?
That's a nice way to say it. I hope so. I try, but I think sometimes. Also, what you're seeing, like I feel like I get the credit and the benefit of so many other people's like hard work and commitment, which are things that you may not see. And so when I hear that, it's flattering, but I also feel like I get embarrassed because I just go like, oh, there's so many other people that were working that all kind of like their creativity and their commitment conspire to make it appear like I am the only one that is like giving everything. And the truth is I am reacting to the way that Todd has set up the scene, to the vibe on set, the way that Larry Sher has lit the scene, the production design. There's so many people. I'm reacting to Brendan Gleeson. I'm reacting to Stephanie. And so I always like, it's so nice to hear it, and thank you for saying that. But I feel like I always have to correct people, or I want to, because I just feel like I feel embarrassed.
That's wild. Even combating him, you got something great out of Joaquin Phoenix.
That was great.
And I'm going to go ahead and turn to you, and I'm going to say, Sean Edwards, way to commit to an amazing suit in that interview. Well to go, sir. That was nice.
Bravo.
No, I love it though. It's not often you do an interview and the person's like, I just got to correct you, but they do it in such a nice way, the way he did. Then go into like that. I actually like that deep explanation because he's actually giving props to the hundreds and hundreds of people that it takes to produce a film. And that's a really cool thing to do. Like all those names you see at the end credits, those are real people. Those are people who make their livelihood making films. They get a check for working on the project. So he gave a big shout out to all of them.
Yeah, you and I produce films, so we're really cognizant of the bottom line that it takes to make these movies. Sean, so I'll go ahead and say I drank the Kool-Aid. I bought into the hype. I was looking forward to it. It did not disappoint. Wrap up your summary of the movie.
I love the movie. I thought it was bold. I thought it was daring. I liked the way they did a 180 from the first film. And oh, by the way, when he referenced Stephanie, everyone, that's Lady Gaga.
Yeah.
There you go. And Kelly was wondering what?
Speaking of Lady Gaga, or Stephanie, as Joaquin calls her, how do you think she held her own against this veteran with Joaquin Phoenix? Do you think she held her own?
I thought she was amazing. I mean, I thought Lady Gaga was absolutely positively amazing. She was infectious. I love the chemistry between the two. I mean, I'm a filmmaker, like Mark said, and I love the filmmaking aspect of this film. Now, with that said, I know that the fanboys and fangirls out there may be expecting something different, but I love a nice curveball. I can't always hit the curveball out of the park, but I love a curveball.
There you go. Love you, man. Sean Edwards, thanks for joining us. Appreciate you.
Thank you.
All right, so coming up next, Sean mentioned it. Brendan Gleeson, also mentioned by Joaquin Phoenix. Coming up next, you probably know him from the Banshees of Inisherin.
Yep.
Because what happens to him in that?
He misses his fingers. He gets his fingers cut off.
By himself. Look it up.
Who does that?
Yeah, we talk about that and, of course, his work in this. Next to Lady Gaga, he shares the most screen time with Joaquin Phoenix as the Joker.
Yep.
How he felt about that, what he did to make this movie and its music better. Next. Hey, welcome back to Take a Look. I am Marcus Allen. Follow me on Instagram at TV Marcus Allen. The legendary Instagram travel blogger, troublemaker, Kelly Savannah Deaton. Where do we find you?
Kelly Savannah Deaton. I keep it easy like that.
All right. So half hour, all things Joker 2 continues. And right now I'm very excited about this. Probably the person that shares the most time on screen with Joaquin Phoenix is Brendan Gleeson.
Yes, and wait, isn't he the one that is missing fingers?
Yes, the Banshees of Inisherin, yes.
Yes.
Referencing that. That is one of the greatest movies of all time if you like something that goes into a completely dark area, unexpected, where he denies friendship with Colin Farrell. Colin Farrell says, let's be friends, and every time he shows up, he goes, I'm going to cut a finger off every time.
I hope you don't do that every time I show up.
Never. It's going to be toes. The reason I went deep in the woods with this is because I wanted to talk to him about that. The last time I talked to him, it was specifically about that scene. In the movie, Joker, as Kelly says, Folie, because that's its real name, but let's just call it Joker 2 because that's what it is. He is the corrections officer that spends, like I said, a lot of time with him. I caught up with him to talk about it. Take a look.
For once in my life, I have someone who needs me. How about you, Arthur? Do you still think you're a star?
Nice to see you.
You too. How are you?
It's the first time I've had the pleasure of talking to you since Banshees, so I've just got to start by saying it's nice to see you with all the fingers.
Yeah,
You're
there you
good.
go. There you go. They stem cell.
They grew out nice. They look so good. With that said, I remember the movie, you said it was your fiddling finger, so I know that truly that music is important to you.
Yeah.
How nice is it to be in a movie that, despite a genre not typically associated with music, is relentlessly committed to having music?
I thought it was fantastic, and it was such a great leap, and it's such a counterweight to the darkness that's going on. There's such loneliness in it, and yet it's the one thing that seems to gel everybody. It seems to finally bring people back into a kind of humanity. So it's phenomenal, I think, yeah.
Yeah, and what you just said could be said both for the movie and for, real life. Music is that one thing that can sometimes heal and unite.
Exactly, and not necessarily through words or not necessarily through definition.
Sure.
It's something that's indefinable in a way. And that's what gives it a kind of spirituality, because rationality doesn't really have a place in there. The nuts and bolts, sure.
Right.
But how it moves us is it's kind of a mystery, really.
You had to figure this guy out and figure out what his relationship is with the Joker, and it's a bit complicated. I think your character's conflicted at times.
Yeah, I think there's a pull between chaos and control. He needs to be in control because of his position. And also he's built his life around the fact that he's there, but he imagines that he brings in a certain levity into it, and he also thinks he's a little bit of a, he has a little bit something going on there that would benefit from a little
Sure, right.
entertainment. So I think that he finds the chaos of the Joker quite enthralling in one sense, and his stardom, he finds that quite seductive. And on the other hand, under no circumstances can that be allowed to be the dominant situation within his domain. So he's in that place where he needs to reassert control at any cost, because actually the kind of chaos, he can't deal with it when push comes to shove.
They're going to be saying great performance. I see a Best Supporting Actor nod for this guy.
I see so too. And also, he's so demure. You wouldn't think this, but I love to see him sing in this film. You wouldn't.
Is that plot spoiling? Yeah, maybe. No, he does sing this. In fact, the moments he speaks in the film, some of the only times I can understand what he's saying, because like his co-star in Banshees, the Irish accent is so thick, I'm not exactly sure what's saying it.
Yep, it comes through. And he has a beautiful voice.
He does.
It's
Talented
shocking.
musician and a good guy. Hey, speaking of good guys, who would have thought the person who brought us the most powerful trilogy comedy punch this century, The Hangover 1 and 2 and 3, is responsible for this? Joker 1, amazing. Joker 2, equally amazing. Todd Phillips joining us next. We'll be right back. Hey, welcome back to our half-hour special Take a Look, and special thanks to all of the people serving America, watching in 177 countries and territories worldwide on AFN. We salute you. I hope on your bases they have this on the biggest screen possible. If I ever preached enough, see the Joker 2 on the biggest screen possible.
You must. You must see it.
Kelly likes to say,
Folie de Deux.
exactly. What's your favorite thing to say in French?
Oh mon Dieu.
Mine is où couper la fromage, which again means who cut
Something
the cheese.
about
Let's
cheese?
move on.
Okay,
Let's just
what?
move on. All right, let's give some love to director Todd Phillips. Who knew, like 5 years ago, he had this in him?
Yes, Todd Phillips. He did an amazing job. You know what he did?
What?
He was the king of comedy about, 5-10 years ago? And then he thought, hey, I can't really make the same comedies I want to make. So what did he do? He pivoted. He made a serious rated R drama with Joaquin Phoenix, went straight to the Oscars and won the Oscar.
Yeah, but if you take a look, at least cinematically, he had it in it. From old school now to this, Joker 2 is amazing. I got a chance to sit down with him to talk about both.
Amazing.
Take a look.
Good to see you.
How are you, boss?
Been talking to you through the years. It just gets more and more exciting every time I see you top your own game.
Oh, thank you.
It was a heavy swing that you did with style and approach to this movie.
It was, yeah. I mean, that's kind of, I don't know, as you get older, as you make films and you keep doing it, you really want to challenge yourself. You want to challenge the crew you work with. You want to challenge the actors. And sometimes you just go, well, what do we do this for but to take risks and work hard but take risks?
With directors specifically like Tarantino, like I always drill him about like, how did you pick this song and this song? Because it was so crucial to the moment. I would say even more so with you and the musical choices. How did you begin to pick this incredible catalog?
It's this idea that what would be the music that Arthur's mother played in the apartment when he was growing up, the music that was part of Arthur's childhood. Like I know my own childhood music that was part of it, different than this, but sure. You know, you remember the songs that were played around your house probably. And for us, even in the first movie, you know, Arthur he's giving his mother a bath in a scene and she's playing Lawrence Welk and there's standards and we use That's Life, Sinatra. This is all music that's in the language of Arthur. So a lot of it started there. And then some of it just comes from the emotion of where you want to go or what we want to see Gaga express.
Right.
Arthur's songs tended to be about love and her songs tended to be about power. And so it was a little bit about that.
You mentioned what Gaga expressed. I've heard you say that much of this character she brought. I mean, surely you're the director. You craft it, but she brought the vision, the look, the style, the nuance.
Well, I mean, like any actor, yeah, they run it through their computer, right? They
Sure.
become and embody the thing. So yeah, I mean, but Gaga also, because she has such a presence in so many ways, definitely had thoughts on wardrobe and like you said, makeup, hair, everything. But you kind of want that from your actors.
Much difference between live theater empathy and then making a movie. With that said, there had to be some moments that on the day you're in Video Village watching the work that Joaquin's laying down, and how are you not, along with crew, sobbing at some of these tender moments?
I've now been lucky enough to work with him on 2 movies in a row, although they were far apart. There was a pandemic in the middle. I've been staring at his face for 6 years, and it never fails to astound me what he can do, which is basically he can do anything. And you're right. There's some times where I'm just like, where did that come from? He's amazing.
Guarantee you 2 Academy Award nominations for that guy, and just hit it out of the park. And I love that he admitted to the commitment level of Joaquin Phoenix when Joaquin earlier with Sean wouldn't even admit that.
Yep, and speaking of music too, Joaquin Phoenix committed to music, but did you know Todd Phillips wasn't even finished with the script, and he sent 60 pages, only 60 pages, to Lady Gaga to see if she would bring it and bring the music with her. And she read it and said, okay, I'm in. And so she committed to it, and now we have this.
And yet another Academy Award nomination I'm predicting right now.
Yep.
And you'll know why when you see the movie. Thanks for hanging out with us on Take a Look. Where do we find you?
Kelly Savannah Deaton.
Exactly. And she's like 2 negative DMs away from becoming Harley Quinn herself, so be careful out there. Find me at TV Marcus Allen. Thanks for watching us on YouTube and everywhere else. See you next time.
Bye.
Watch the movie.
We have to have a secret handshake.